The coffee cup shattered against the kitchen floor. Hot liquid splattering like accusations across the linoleum. You can't just waltz back into my life like nothing happened. Anne's voice cracked. Raw and unfiltered. Echoing in the cramped Brooklyn apartment where the scent of fresh bagels from the corner deli still lingered in the air. Her hands trembled as she stared at Diana. The woman who'd vanished 10 years ago without a goodbye. Now standing there in a tailored suit. Eyes pleading under the harsh morning light filtering through the blinds. And Harper, 32, had built her life around forgetting. A high school English teacher in Queens. She spent her days dissecting Shakespeare with wide-eyed teens. Her evenings grading papers under the hum of a desk lamp that buzzed like unresolved regrets. She'd convinced herself the butterflies from college were just youthful folly, a phase. Buried deep under failed dates with well-meaning guys and a string of safe, platonic friendships. But here was Diana Ruiz, 34. The sharp-edged corporate lawyer who'd climbed the ranks at a Manhattan firm. Her presence a thunderclap in Anne's quiet world. They'd met at NYU. Two ambitious girls from middle-class families. One from upstate New York. The other from Jersey suburbs. Late-night study sessions turned into stolen kisses in dorm rooms. Whispers of forever amid the chaos of finals and cheap ramen. Until Diana bolted after graduation. Chasing a job in Chicago. Leaving Anne with a note that read, "This isn't real for me anymore." Now. At their high school reunion, no. Wait. It was a college alumni mixer at a trendy Soho bar the night before. Diana had cornered her. "I saw your name on the list," she'd said. Voice low over the clink of glasses and laughter. Anne's heart had lurched. A betrayal by her own body. They'd talked until closing. Words tumbling like autumn leaves in Central Park, careers. Breakups. The ache of what-ifs. Diana confessed she'd married a man briefly. Divorced quicker. Always wondering about the road not taken. And admitted she'd dated women since. But nothing stuck. Nothing felt like this. The spill on the floor cooled. Steam rising like ghosts. And knelt to clean it. Her knees protesting against the cold tile. "Why now?" she whispered. The words catching in her throat. Diana crouched beside her. Their fingers brushing as they gathered shards. The touch was electric. A spark that ignited memories, lazy Sundays in Washington Square Park. The taste of street hot dogs. The way Diana's laugh cut through city sirens like a lifeline. "I thought I could outrun it," Diana admitted. Her breath hitching. "The feelings. Society. Family expectations, they pushed me away. But seeing you last night. God. And. It's like no time passed." She paused. The silence heavy with the distant honk of taxis outside. And looked up. Seeing the vulnerability in Diana's eyes. The faint lines from years of boardroom battles. The air smelled of spilled coffee and something sweeter. Like the vanilla candle and had lit last night in a futile attempt to calm her nerves. They stood. The mess forgotten. Diana's hand cupped Anne's cheek. Thumb tracing the curve of her jaw. "I was wrong to leave. Can we try again?" The question hung. Fragile as a soap bubble. Anne's pulse thrummed in her ears. A drumbeat urging her forward. She leaned in. Their lips meeting in a kiss that tasted of regret and redemption, soft at first. Then deepening with the urgency of lost years. The world narrowed to the warmth of Diana's body. The faint scent of her perfume mingling with the apartment's lived-in aroma of books and takeout. But doubt crept in like evening shadows. As they broke apart. And pulled back. Chest heaving. "What if it's just nostalgia? What if you run again?" Her voice was a whisper. Laced with the fear that had armored her heart for a decade. Diana's eyes glistened. Unshed tears catching the light. "I'm scared too," she confessed. Voice breaking. "But I've spent years in therapy. Unpacking why I left. It was internalized crap, thinking love like ours wasn't normal. I'm done hiding." They moved to the couch. The worn leather creaking under their weight. Anne's apartment overlooked a bustling street. Where joggers pounded pavement and vendors hawked fresh fruit. Sunlight streamed in. Painting golden stripes across the room. Diana traced patterns on Anne's palm. Recounting her life post-breakup, the soulless Chicago winters. The marriage that felt like a costume. The return to New York last year for a promotion. "I saw your posts on social media," she said softly. "Teaching those kids poetry, it's you. And. Pure you." And smiled faintly. Remembering her own path, the solace in literature. The quiet pride in shaping young minds. The lonely nights scrolling through old photos. As hours slipped by. Fortified by fresh coffee, this time unbroken, they unpacked the mouth-worn chin. It wasn't just the past, it was the present. Diana's firm demanded long hours. Travel to D.C. 4 cases. End school year was a whirlwind of parent-teacher conferences and lesson plans. How do we make this work? And asked. Her head on Diana's shoulder. Feeling the steady rise and fall of her breathing. The question echoed the broader struggle, two women navigating love in a world that still whispered judgments. Even in progressive New York. Tension built that afternoon when Anne's phone buzzed, a text from her sister. Oblivious to the reunion. Family dinner Sunday? Bring a date. And sighed. The sound heavy with implication. Diana tensed. My parents. They're old school Latino. They know I'm out now. But it's fragile. The air thickened. The faint rumble of the subway below vibrating through the floor like unspoken fears. They argued then. Voices rising like a summer storm. You think I don't get it? And shot back. Pacing. My folks in Syracuse still ask about grandkids. But I'm tired of pretending. Diana stood. Grabbing her coat. Maybe this was a mistake. The door slammed. The sound reverberating like a gunshot. And collapsed. Tears hot on her cheeks. The apartment felt emptier. The city noise mocking her solitude. Hours later. A knock. Diana. Rain soaked from a sudden downpour. Eyes red. I can't walk away again, she said. Voice trembling. They embraced in the hallway. Wet clothes clinging. The scent of ozone and resolve mixing. That night? Under the glow of string lights in Anne's bedroom. They made love, tentative at first. Then fervent. Bodies remembering rhythms long dormant. Whispers of I love you filled the spaces between breaths. The sheets tangling like their intertwined fates. Weeks blurred into months. They navigated the chaos, stolen lunches in Bryant Park. Weekend getaways to the Hamptons. Therapy sessions together. Challenges arose, Diana's late nights. Anne's grading marathons, but they faced them head-on. Communication their anchor. At a pride event in Greenwich Village. Surrounded by rainbow flags and cheering crowds. Diana proposed on one knee. Ring glinting in the sun. Marry me. And. Let's prove those feelings were never gone. And said yes. Tears mingling with laughter. Their wedding. A small affair in Central Park. Symbolized renewal, vows exchanged under blooming cherry blossoms. Families tentatively uniting. As they danced to jazz under twinkling lights. And whispered. I thought they were gone. Diana smiled. Pulling her close. But reunion proved us wrong. In the end. Love wasn't a fairy tale, it was messy. Real. Enduring. They built a life in a cozy brownstone. Blending careers with quiet evenings of wine and words. The feelings. Once buried. Bloomed eternal, a testament that second chances could rewrite the script.